Okay, guys. Welcome to the homework review for grade 10 on September the 30th. The homework you had started at number 123. I gave you A, B, and C in class yesterday, so we'll do the remaining questions live, and then you'll be able to see them again if you want to review maybe 24 hours after that, because it will upload later. After I finish reviewing the homework, I'll pre-record, because that goes online more efficiently. If you haven't checked in with me yet, there's still a chance. Those of you who are my students, you should actually put your name down, and I'll put you in as having attended the class. Because some of you are saying, "Oh, sir, you're not marking as present." Well, here's your big chance. Write your name, and you will be marked present if I haven't already done so. I'll get to it after. Okay? In fact, just let me get a piece of paper to write that down. When you do, tell me you're here. Right now I see only one person. A mysterious person whose name does not appear on the screen. Anyway, number 123D, you're asked to convert to an appropriate prefix, or take your prefix and convert it to the appropriate fraction that it signifies. So on 123D, you are asked to tell what this thing is. Well, it's called micro. It means 1/1,000,000th. And another way of saying it is 10 to the minus 6. Then you have an E, you have uppercase M. Uppercase M means mega. So whenever you put an uppercase M in front of a symbol, it symbolizes 1,000,000 times that thing. Right? If you have a 1,000,000 meters, you could say a megameter. If you have 1,000,000 minds, you could say a megamind. Right? And that means 10 to the 6. F is lowercase k. That stands for kilo, which is 1,000 times. And you can also say 1,000 by saying 10 to the power of 3. G is a lowercase n, which stands for nano, which means 1/100000th. Like a nanometer would be 1/100000th of a meter, or 10 to the minus 9. H is milli, which means 1/1000th, or 10 to the minus 3. And I, they have P, for lowercase p for pico, which means 10 to the negative 12. I didn't write the fraction because it would have been 1 with 12 zeros. It just would have been cumbersome to write. The next question says, use appropriate metric prefixes to write the following measurements without use of exponents. Okay, so we did A, B, and C. Sorry, we did A and B in class, so I'm just going to show you the answers to the remaining questions. In C, they ask you to convert a 9.5 times 10 to the minus 4 meters, and I judged it best to go with micrometers. So I know there's 10 to the power of 6 micrometers per 1 meter. Remember, if a micrometer is 10 to the minus 6 of a meter, that means there's 10 to the positive 6 micrometers in 1 meter. Just like if there's 100 centimeters in a meter, then 1 centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. Or rather, you could say it the other way around. If a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter, that means there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So whatever fraction of measurement some prefix implies, if you take its reciprocal by going to the opposite power, that's how many of that quantity are in the thing that it modifies. So I multiplied by 10 to the 6 micrometers per meter. That allowed me to cancel meters. And then when I multiplied these two powers, 10 to the negative 4 and 10 to the positive 6, I got 10 to the positive 2, which is another way of saying 100. So 100 times 9.5 gives you 950 micrometers. And that's how you answer that question fully. Then they ask you to convert 4.23 times 10 to the minus 9 meters. I decided to go with nanometers. There's 10 to the power of 9 nanometers in 1 meter, because the nanometer is 10 to the minus 9 of a meter. So again, you take the reciprocal to find how many of them there are in 1 meter. That allows me to cancel meters, which I didn't actually formally do. And 10 to the minus 9 times 10 to the positive 9 gives you 10 to the 0. Remember that anything raised to the power of 0 equals 1. So 4.23 times 1 gives you 4.23, and then the unit is nanometers. In the example E, we have 12.5 times 10 to the minus 8 kilograms. And what I wanted to do was get rid of kilograms, so that's what I did. I said there's 1,000 grams per kilogram, or another way of saying 1,000 is say you write it as 10 to the power of 3. That allows me to cancel kilograms. And my answer becomes 12.5 times 10 to the minus 5, because I got 10 to the minus 8 times 10 to the positive 3. That brings the exponent up to negative 5. And units of grams, and then that brings me within striking distance of the unit I want to use, which is micrograms. So I'm going to multiply by 10 to the power 6 micrograms per gram. I can then cancel grams, and 10 to the minus 5 times 10 to the plus 6 gives you 10 to the positive 1. 12.5 times 10 to the positive 1, which is 10, gives you 125 micrograms. So here, the idea of this exercise was to just write the number. Okay, then F, we are asked to convert 3.5 times 10 to the minus 10 grams, and I decided to go with picograms because there's 10 to the power of 12 picograms per gram. So that brings the power up to 3.5 times 10 to the 2 picograms. 10 to the 2 is 100. 100 times 3.5 gives you 350. You get 350 picograms. Okay. I'm also going to ask you to do 25 and 26. I'll ask you to do numbers 1-20, 1.25 and 1.26. I'll show you what that looks like. Of course, you're not going to see it on this one. You're not going to see it on this video. I'll record it on the other one. So what I'll do now is I'll stop the video, and this will upload quickly because it'll be a relatively short one. That was the homework anyway.